Okay. And okay.
Were you giving yourself applause then?
Yeah, but just one upload it will not be enough. I want more. Actually, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. Yeah, I mean it makes 8 hands. Yeah, you can give us a hand, Steve, Samir, and right? Anyway. Out of Order English Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Out of Order English Podcast has just started. Welcome. This is Out of Order English Podcast episode number 3. I am Ben from Turkey. Welcome everyone. We are in the 3rd episode today. We have Steve, only Steve. And yeah, we have live audience as well, Savira and Riley for now. And we will talk why we don't have a guest today. We are giving our time to the participants, so we want to prepare something. For example, in the previous episode, I wanted to read a poem, but since we had 2 guests, I think there wasn't enough time. So I said maybe in this episode we will not have a guest, and then we will have more time for doing our own performance. I don't know, I was already just joking, but yeah, I will talk about why we end up having no guest today. But before that, let me welcome Steve. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. That's very nice to be welcomed. Welcome to you too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Steve, do you have any idea why we have no guest today?
Well, I do, because you just told me.
Yeah, actually we had, I will give the name also. I will expose him. Yeah, we had Yousef Sami to join our podcast and he was ready for it. But yeah, just yesterday he just reached to me and said, Ben, you know what? I will not be able to attend. And I said, why? He said, yeah, I will have my iftar for like a breakfast because we are in Ramadan with a friend. And I said, but when did you talk with him? He said, just today. And I said, but we talked with you before today. And he said, if it will not be today, I need to wait for until next week to happen that dinner, he said. And I said, okay, if you miss joining Out of Order English Podcast, after a couple months, maybe it will come to you the turn. And I said, yeah, it is for one time only. If you do that thing again one more time, I mean like a couple months later, I think you will lose your chance forever because we will not accept you. Because, yeah, Steve, I don't want him to take us for granted.
Yes, he'll be banished. No, he's a busy chap, isn't he? He has things that he needs to do. So sometimes the best made plans don't always go as you want them to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Can we say, like in this context, like take someone for granted or take something for granted?
Not really. No, I don't think he's taking us for granted. It's that would be if you're using somebody, for instance, if you're
or not appreciating maybe.
Yeah, if you're taking them for granted, it's like you take for granted when you turn the tap on, water will come out. That's something that you could take for granted.
Yeah, and that's why the first name come to my mind is Riley, and yeah, all the time is like that. I think one day she will just to be removed from my mind. She will accept that. She is now in live audience. I sent her a private message to join us, but because she wasn't around, and I thought maybe Riley will not see the message on time, so it will be a little bit waiting response from her. It will be not good action now. I said, yeah, because we have a list of people who want to join our podcast. And I reached to another person and he said, yeah, I am ready. I will be available at that time. then I said, if Riley now will accept it, what will happen? It will be like also like we will end up having more than one guest like what we did in the previous episode. So I said, I noticed that on Discord we have the chance to modify, to edit the text, even though it is a private message. So I did some trick and replaced the text. And then I thought maybe because when you send a message, the person informed by the email and sometimes the message included in the email. So I said, what if Riley saw the original message?
Well, we have Taha with us, and Yousef has joined as well. That's nice to see you. And obviously we mentioned we have Riley and Severa here too. Nice to see you.
So both of our problematic guests are in the room now. I mean, Yousef and Taha. So I don't know. I wonder if they will be able to join us or not. But now let me still continue attacking Yousef a little bit more. Yousef, will you be able to join us?
We'll be careful. He might start singing.
And yeah, he said, one of the reasons maybe he's not joining us, he said, I will not be able to sing. And I said, I was joking, don't take it seriously. I was like, why I trying to force him to sing, Steve, do you know? Because, for example, when I sing, he don't appreciate it. He take me for granted and he said, I don't want you to sing anymore. And I want him to sing and compare it with myself. Then I will make him realize how good singer I am.
Well, I'm just hoping you don't do a duet.
Yeah, because he will corrupt me at that time. He will not be able to keep up with me. So yeah, at that time we will be like out of order.
Definitely.
Can we say that, right? Like out of tune.
Well, out of tune, possibly. Yes, that's a strong possibility.
And actually, there was a special word or phrase for like out of tune. Can we say, not Concord. I forgot. If anyone remember from the audience, they can type it. It is Discord. You are on Discord already. How you don't remember it? It's Discord. You are on Discord already. How you don't remember it? You are on Discord already. It's Discord. You are on Discord already. How you don't remember it? You are on Discord already. By the way, Taha, will you be able to join us? Yeah, actually, for replacement to Yousef, I reached to Taha and he accepted, and now didn't join us yet because he said, I slept in. Can we say slept in, Steve, when you didn't wake up on time?
Yes, you slept in, meaning you didn't wake up when you anticipated you were going to.
Actually, he didn't say that, but yeah, I paraphrasing it. So trying to use some phrases and phrasal verbs or something. And also make the audience become aware of these phrases. And actually, because in normal time I don't use these phrases easily because I am not sure how to use them. So it is an opportunity for me to take confirmation from you, and listeners also will learn from it.
Always happy to help.
Thank you so much, Steve.
You're welcome.
So, Steve, what do you want to talk about? All the time we prioritize. Yeah, it is a difficult pronounced word for me. Actually, I practiced it a little bit, and now I am able to say it. Do I sound fine? I mean, like correctly? Prioritize,
that's right, yeah. Taha was server muted. I've just unserver muted him.
Yeah, we have that ability actually in the recording live room. We make the participants force it muted. Even though they want to talk, they will not be able to unless we allow them. So now, Yousef and Taha, both I think they are ready to talk, I suppose. Yousef, do you want to say something?
Yes, so first of all, thank you for having me.
Hello, Yousef.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Ben.
You decided to renege from appointment with your friend or what?
Yes, just as I told you yesterday, is that I always organize meetups and hanging outs with my friends, but most of the time I end up just staying at home. So That's what happened today.
Yeah, but why did you make us find another guest then?
Yes. So I was supposed to go out, but today, surprisingly, the weather was too hot. I think we got hit by a heat wave today. The temperature right now is around 38 in my place in
That's
Alexandria.
cool.
Yes, yes.
38.
So,
So you are simply trying to say, don't depend on my words. I am not the man of my words.
is this how you're supposed to talk with your guests? For God's sake. Come on.
I mean, like, of course, it wasn't like that at the first hand. I mean, at the first place. But when you do that tricks to me, yeah, now actually I started to behave a little bit like not nice host. I know that. Maybe Steve will compensate for it. Yeah. Or maybe Steve will also support me. I don't know.
No, I kept my word until the last second. I was on Free for Talk. I told you that I might not come, and I wasn't coming until Savira texted me and told me, Yousef, join us. And then I said, but I think you might have another guest. And then she said, no, you don't. You don't. You can join us. And then I came. However, I did tell you yesterday that I might not be able to come today, right?
Yeah, that's why I asked you. I wanted to be certain. I mean, like, because
Yes,
otherwise.
I was certain, but Savira told me to come.
Okay, then.
You have to do what Severa tells you.
Yes, exactly. You have always to say
Yes,
yes,
dear.
dear.
Okay, Steve, I don't even want him to sing after doing this to us.
Thank God.
So, Steve, you can have a little bit conversation with our lovely guest, dear guest. Yeah, I will make him pay through the nose today. Can we say through the nose? I mean, pay through the nose?
Yes, you say pay through the nose. Yes.
What does that paying through the nose mean?
Yeah, you're going to pay more than you expected, more than you would have assumed that you were going to pay. If you take your car to the garage, for instance, and they say, oh, you need this fixing and that fixing, in your head you think, oh, that's going to be about £300. And then when you go back to pick it up, it's 625. You think, oh, I paid through the nose for that.
Ah, I see. Sami,
Yes.
are you with us? Okay. So, what do you have in mind? You have nothing? I mean, what do you want to talk with us? Okay.
Well, I was going to talk about the heat wave that we got hit today. Do you guys have heat waves right now, or it's only here in Egypt?
I have headache actually. Not
I
eating.
see. Did it started as soon
okay.
as I joined the room?
It was 14
believe
degrees today here. 14. Yesterday was 18, so it's dropped a little bit today.
Yes, so it says here in my place in Alexandria, it's going to be 38 degrees today. And what's really weird is that tomorrow it's going to be down to 22.
Well, that's a big difference from one day to the next.
Exactly. And it's
Right.
even bigger difference between day and night. So at night it's going to get down to 14 degrees.
I don't know how you're going to manage. You'll have to get 2 blankets out.
Exactly. That's going to be freezing cold for me. 14 degrees. That's freezing cold to Egyptian bodies.
Taha, tell us about why are you late?
I was a bit insomniac like since 10 days. Yeah, I've been using Free for Talk intensively those days, so I spent most of the night there and I don't sleep too early. I slept at 6 a.m. I think, and I already woke up 1 hour ago I think. That's why I'm a bit late.
Yes, so you were burning the candle at both ends, meaning you stayed up really late and then had to sleep in.
And actually, I remembered also another phrase. It is like burning the midnight oil.
That's right, yeah. Burning the midnight oil is when you're up past midnight and comes from the times when you used to burn oil in a little wick, and that used to give you your light. Burning the midnight oil was when you stayed up after midnight to do whatever it is you're doing.
So we can use it in this context, right? For Taha, for example, we can say you burned the midnight oil yesterday, so you couldn't be here on time.
Well, if he didn't go to bed until 6 o'clock, then yes, he was definitely burning the midnight oil. But was it worth it, Taha? Did you do everything you wanted it to do?
Yeah, that was the thing I was intended to ask. It is good.
I had no intentions. I was just chilling, let's say. And I'm really in a mood to talk those days, so yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Well, as long as you had fun, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I have a question for Steve. I mean, do you use a lot of idioms there in the UK?
We do, but to an English person, we don't generally notice that it's an idiom. To people that are learning language will hear that and say, what does that mean? And then we think, oh yes, that's an idiom, and then we have to explain it.
Oh, I see.
But idioms are quite regularly used, and as a native English speaker, you don't always think, oh, that's an idiom as you say it.
Mm-hmm. But what about like the second language speakers? Should they really focus on learning idioms and try to use them in their speech or not? What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't say specifically to spend time learning them, because there are hundreds. What I usually suggest to people is do a search on Google or your favorite search engine. There are other search engines available, and just do a search for top 20 idioms, and they'll come back with the most commonly used. Those are certainly ones that you want to remember. But I wouldn't get a book or start searching around the net too much, because there are hundreds, and trying to commit them all to memory is going to be difficult.
And also, what about collocations?
Again, it's important to know them. It's like swear words. It's good to know them, not necessarily to use them, but if somebody's being rude to you, you want to know that they're being rude. So it's useful to know them, but I wouldn't try and study them too much, because you'll just bog yourself down with information and phrases that you'll rarely use.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that, Steve? There was an experiment, actually. It was a little bit like some years back, and it was funny. When you pay more, you enjoy more for the food. The researchers from a university, go to some restaurant, and they said they will conduct an experiment, and they offer the same food. It is one for $4 and one for $8, but the same everything. And at the end, the people who pay more, they enjoy it more. Like they reported it, they like around 10%, 20%, they enjoy it more.
Well, sometimes you think that you're paying for something and it's going to be good, even if you get less amount. It's I don't eat out at restaurants now. I haven't eaten out at a restaurant for many years, but the ones that I see on television, when I do catch a little bit of a cookery program, they look very attractive and they look very appetizing, but the cost of some of these meals, when there's such a minimal amount on the plate, it would upset me a bit, I think, if it cost that much. You go to a top-notch restaurant and you expect to pay a heavy price or a big price for the food, but the portions they give you on the plate, it's just like a little portion of food in the middle of the plate. Lots of plate left empty, and you think, well, is this the starter? This isn't the main course, surely.
Yeah, actually, sometimes, when we go to the market and I see, for example, like a product, but it has discount, like reduction, like maybe half price, for example, I just suspect, is it the expiration date is coming, or is there some other reason, in the manufacturing process, something go wrong? Why it is like a half price now? Do you have that doubts from time to time?
We have that in the UK. There's like what we call a cheapie section, or a section where the prices have been reduced for fruit and veg, or for cold products that they're sort of priced cheaper because they're running out, or the date for them is best before is that day. And sometimes you can buy a bargain if you're going to eat it that day.
Yousef, you are a businessman. What do you think about this method? And actually people also use this other way. I mean, like making things when you, for example, have a restaurant or you are selling something. If you make it cheap, also people started to doubt about it.
Yes, of course. Sometimes people always correlate cheaper prices with bad quality. So if you make your restaurant, if you offer your customers with cheap products or cheap meals, then customers will start to see if maybe you are only offering this cheap prices only because your products have low quality. Of course, you have to balance it. You have to offer still cheaper prices, but because always customers are always interested in cheaper prices, but not too cheap that would make customers be suspicious to you. So it's always to make it in the middle.
Well, when I buy anything, usually I go for the middle price range. I don't go for the most expensive or the cheapest. I go for something around the middle.
Yeah.
And then you usually get some reasonable quality then. Severa's got a good question. I wonder how people make all-you-can-eat restaurants profitable. So these restaurants, you go and you pay a set fee, say, I don't know, £10, whatever it might be, and then you can eat as much as you like. How do they make that profitable?
What is the phrase for it, Steve? I mean, like you can eat whatever you want, how much you want. You can say...
Yeah, all you can eat.
all you can eat.
Yeah, I think they probably buy in bulk, knowing that they're going to go through a lot of food. And because they're buying in bulk, they get it for a cheaper price.
And also the participants, not all are eat the same. For example, there are people who have diets, for example. They don't eat whatever they want, for example. So yeah, I mean, in like overall, they balance it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it balances out because you're going to have children eating as well as adults. You're going to have adults with big appetites as well as people with just the average appetite. But I'm sure these places are buying the products in a discounted price to ensure that they still make a profit.
Mm-hmm. And Ami said buffet restaurant is the same thing. It is all you can eat. It means like buffet restaurant maybe. Yeah, you are...
Yeah, it's pronounced buffet.
Buffet.
Buffet, but it's pronounced buffet. I imagine it's a French word.
We call it buffet. In
buffet. I say buffet. How lovely.
Yeah, by the way, we didn't ask our participants to introduce themselves because they were late, so we just cut those parts. I will like to save time. Let's just make them introduce themselves. Yousef and Taha. Taha, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Taha, I'm 26 years old and I'm from Algeria, North Africa. It's actually the biggest country in Africa, so if you ever heard about it. And I'm a recently graduated petroleum production engineering student, which means I can work in the oil and gas industry. And about the English language, I started real practice like 5 years ago, simultaneously with my university period, because English is kind of important language in my field of studies. Most of the resources are available in English. But the good thing that I discovered, my passion and the love of English. I mean, I really enjoyed practicing with people and learning the language, and believe it or not, I prefer English over my mother tongue. I mean, I can speak for the whole day in English without getting bored. So yeah, it's like I hit two birds with one rocket.
It means like you fell in love in English. With English. Fell in love with, right, Steve?
Yes, fell in love with, that's right.
Good. And Sami, Yousef, I mean, not Sami Yousef, Yousef Sami, actually, because there's a British singer, what is called spiritual music he makes, and he's well known actually across the world, Sami Yousef.
And I used to brag about that I share the same first and last name with Sami Yousef, the famous singer, when I was a kid. But yeah, my name is Yousef Sami. I'm from Egypt. I'm 24 years old. I graduated from business school, and currently I work as a call center agent for a dropshipping company.
It's nice. Wow, Steve. Wow, 35 minutes. Wow, how is that? How is that? I thought I will read a poem today.
Well,
come on.
You can edit it down to 29 minutes and spend a minute to read a poem.
It will not be enough. I tried my best and did some demonstration. I need 4 minutes. So I think I will keep it for next time.
Thank God.
And next time, yeah, it will. I will sing, Steve. No, Steve.
Oh, please,
I will
please
sing,
don't.
Yousef.
Please don't.
I will put it in the editing, yeah. And I will just, when I, for example, make Yousef introduce himself, I will sing it that part and that part. Always next time poem. Yeah, actually, Savira. And how can I say? Yeah, maybe next time I will not try to find an alternative guest. If they don't appear, it's okay. I will read my poetry. I can even sing. I can even dance, even though you don't see it. It's okay. So next time, yeah, actually, every episode I learn something. So Steve, what do you want to say for last words? I mean, like a little bit in quick way.
In a quick way, the time flew by yet again.
Yeah.
We know it's going to, but we're still surprised when it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the time it's like that. And Sami, what do you want to say for your last words?
For my last words before I go to the execution room, Ben, please don't ever sing again.
See, Steve, why I should go harsh on this kind of people? Yeah.
I think you should just mute him.
But yeah, we are at the end already.
I'm joking.
And Taha, what would you like to say for your last verse?
I enjoyed talking and listening to you, even if it was really fast for me, because I think I'm the last one who arrived, and I hope I can arrive at time the next time. Yeah. And thank you so much, and thanks for the audience who gonna listen to this podcast.
Okay, thank you, Sami, thank you, Taha, and thank you, Steve, for being in this podcast, and thanks our listeners for taking time and listening to us. And actually, I want to double thank our live listeners, because they are appeared here and they contributed to our podcast and listened to us in live way. And yeah, let me just mention the names, because I want to recall the names, because after publishing the podcast, I reached to them and asked them, comparing the live session with the published version. So, okay, it is Ami, Riley, Savira. Yeah, we have 3 live listeners also today. Thank you all, and till next time.
Au revoir.
Do not forget to subscribe to our channel to get the news as fast as you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you start to long for the next episode. Out of Order English podcast has just finished. Goodbye. Out of Order English podcast.